miles between Geelong West Stadium and Geelong East Stadium, and this Sunday, two big matches just 4 miles apart could go a long way to determining the destiny of not just the league title, but the AFC Champions League places as well. Here at Geelong West, we're focusing on Young Lions, 7th in the table against the Lion City Sailors, who go into this 6 points off Albrechts, who play Tampines, who are second in the other Geelong game tonight. The Sailors 6 points off the top and 4 points away from Tampines, who currently are in possession of Singapore's automatic slot into the AFC Champions League for next season. All in all, we're set fair for a thrilling final 6 days of the AIA Singapore Premier League season. Nothing is certain, not who's going to finish bottom, nor who's going to finish top, or even who's going to go into the AFC Cup, with Balestier Khalsa's win against Geylang yesterday really throwing that race back up into the air as well, coupled with the win for Hougang against Tanjung Pagar United. It's a season like no other, just 14 games played by each team, and we're approaching the final furlong now. So let's turn our attention to the match we're bringing you live here from Geelong West this afternoon, where the Young Lions, who, despite only registering 2 wins, have had a lot to like about them. Coach Nasri's got them playing well, and in Jacob Marler, they've got a real leader from the back. He scored goals for fun, and he has been integral to the success the Young Lions have enjoyed this season. Marler had the opportunity at the start of the season to join other clubs in the SPL, but decided he liked the idea of leading the Young Lions, and he has lived up to all the expectations placed upon him. As for the Lion City Sailors, where do you look when you try and pick a player to watch for them? Obviously, Stipe Plazivat with that hamstring injury is absent today, but we've picked Shardan Suleiman, who was at Tampines Rovers last season, of course. He's the anchor of that Lion City Sailors midfield, and although not really in the team for his goal-scoring ability, he's contributed 2 of the 34 goals, the league-leading 34 goals that the Lion City Sailors have scored this season. We are just adjacent to Pioneer MRT stop here in the west coast of Singapore. And while no fans are allowed in the stadium, you've got the best seat in the house wherever you're watching, be it on Singtel, StarHub, the AIA Singapore Premier League social media channels, or indeed One Play Sports. Let's catch up with the managers and what they've got to say pre-match. We'll hear from Aurelio Vidmar in just a moment, but first, here's the Lion City Sailors gaffer, Nasri Nasir.
You're coming up against a high-scoring Lion City Sailors side. Do you focus on the defensive side of things during training to prepare for this game?
To be honest, I don't really focus on just defending. As you know, that Lion City Sailor, they have a complete players. We have a lot of national team players. They have a good foreigners. For me, I think most important thing, we just play our normal game. Of course, we have to be careful in certain players, like in form players like Gabriel, basically in form. They have others attacker like Song. If Shardan basically is very good in shooting outside the box, so we have to be very careful on these players.
They are essentially the favourites today. What are you expecting from your players?
I mean, honestly, I just expect my players give their very best. Hopefully today they are on top of the game. Take up all the responsibility that they need to do, where we prepared during the training. So I think if they fought hard, I'm sure the result basically will fall nicely to us.
And lastly, Hami is out. How much of a miss will he be to the team?
Yeah, of course, I think with Ami present before his injury, I think he made a lot difference in the team. But again, more or less, we cannot depend too much on Ami. Okay, we have other players need to step up. Introducing some players, basically playing the new role, this kind of thing. So important thing is just go out there and just give their best, and I think with that I'm very happy.
The Young Lions have yet to keep a clean sheet this season. With your style of football, are you expecting an easy game today?
Well, there's never an easy game. I think they've been very consistent over the last couple of weeks. They've had a team that they've been able to consistently play over the last 2 games. So this is always a tricky game. For us, we have to come here with the right mindset, or else we'll have problems.
What kind of threat will you be expecting from this Young Lions side?
No, they're not a bad team. If you give them a lot of space, then they're able to play some decent football. And then obviously going forward, although they're still young and they're still learning, they're always going to be a threat.
And lastly, can you share with us the status of Stipe Plazibat?
Yeah, well, he's not here today. So again, he's just on a day-to-day basis. So we'll see what happens.
To the big takeaways from the thoughts of the two managers. No Jaime Shahin for the Young Lions, and for the Lion City Sailors, managed by Aurelio Vidmar, there is no Stipe Plazibat, having been risked off the bench in that win against Geylang in midweek. He is not being risked on the bench today, maybe with one eye on what's going to be a blockbuster on Wednesday when the Lion City Sailors entertain Tampines Rovers at Bishan. Tampines, remember, inflicted the Lion City Sailors' heaviest defeat of the campaign by 4-0 pre-COVID. There are the substitutes bench for the Lion City Sailors, and plenty of attacking talent on display there. Adam Swandy's been a regular feature off the bench this season. Tajeli drops to the bench for the first time in a while. Hafiz Noor, Isdin, really is quality wherever you look in amongst this Lion City Sailors squad that inflicted the Young Lions' heaviest defeat of the season on them back at the start of November when they won by 5-0 at Bishan. So kick-off now is just 4 minutes away. We'll keep you up to date, of course, with what's happening at Jurong East, but the state of play with that league table sees a win for Tampines at Albirex tonight, taking them top of the table, a win for Albirex Nagata, and they will be 5 points clear with 2 games to play. Our officiating crew, led by referee Lim Liang Yi, assisted by Abdul Hanan and Shadiq Al Hussein, with Nathan Chan operating as 4th official today. And the arrival of the officials means the arrival of the players is not too far away. So it's the Lion City Sailors without Stipe Plazibat. Stipe, of course, who scored a brace in that 5-0 win. Jacob Marler came up with an own goal in that game as well to get the Lion City Sailors band wagon rolling. But Jacob Marler has been a colossus for the Young Lions this season. A big part of those 2 wins they've recorded against Tanjung Pagar in October, and just a couple of weeks ago against Balestier, when he was scorer in both of those games. But as you heard in the pre-match interview from Naz with Aurelio Vidmar, Vidmar will be fully aware that the Young Lions have yet to keep a clean sheet this season. Hassan Sunny, the skipper of the Sailors, leading them out. And it will be fascinating to see, because against Geylang, they struggled early on without Plazibat to link up the play that's been so effective between Stipe and Songul Yong during the course of the season. Shaul Ishak, a big name in Singapore football in his own right, continues to deputise for Stipe up front. He was largely ineffective for the most part against Geylang. Will he have a field day against this young Lions team today? I suppose you could call this the true Lion Derby. Young Lions, Lion City Sailors. The pre-match fist bumps about to be concluded and will shortly be set for action. Kick-off simultaneously at Jurong East for the game involving Albirex and Tampines, that top of the table clash. No Jordan Webb, of course, for Tampines, so still suspended. Marler and Hassan Sunny, the 2 skippers. Won't be too long before hopefully we're seeing them play together in the international team. Jacob Marler certainly one for the future. You lick your lips at the prospect of Jacob Marler and Irfan Fandi as a centre-back pairing for the Singapore national team in the future. And of course they'll be stood in front of Hassan Sunny as long as it happens sooner rather than later. So the Sailors will be playing in blue. The Young Lions will be playing in red. And at Jurong West, where the pitch, from my vantage point, is coping reasonably well with a hectic programme. The pitch at Bishan as well, along with this surface at Jurong West and the grass at Hougang. The 3 stadiums that aren't artificial in the Singapore Premier League. And I think the ground staff at all 3 stadia deserve a pat on the back for how they're coping with this hectic schedule. 5 changes for the Young Lions to the team that went down 2-0 to Albirex last time out. There's a change in goal. Ridwan comes in. Amir Hakim into the defence. Ilham Fandi with a rare start since he came back from military service. And Bill and Syed Akmal also in, as you heard in that pre-match interview there, without the injured Jaime. Nasri Nasir leading the Young Lions. Mark Ryan Tam might be able to make an impact off the bench later on if the Lion City Sailors tire. And as for the Lion City Sailors, well, just the 2 changes for the team that ultimately won comfortably against Geylang. What about that Kaishu Yamazaki goal right at the death? The 2 changes are Abdil coming in along with Saifullah returning from suspension. Adam Swandy once more has to make do with a place on the bench, and Tajeli drops down to the substitutes bench for this one as well. So we're set for action. Lion City Sailors playing left to right in The Young Lions, I should play, saying left to right in red. The Lion City Sailors in the blue, white shorts, playing right to left. It's a commentator's nightmare. Young Lions, Lion City Sailors. Lions are plenty. Who'll come out on top? We're underway here at Geelong West. Expect the Lions' share of possession to be with Tampines, with the Lion City Sailors, as they've had throughout most of the season. Nakudin with an early touch to Chardin, who was our player to watch, and he spreads it out wide, but that's beyond the range of Gabriel Quack, who's going to be playing down the right flank in this first half, but he's proved himself such a versatile player, Gabriel Quack, through what has been a potential player of the season performance from him. He came up with his 4th goal of the campaign in that win against Geylang, and was largely responsible for helping Kaishu Yamazaki find the space to release that thunderbolt with one of the last kicks of the game. Probing down this right-hand side is Songul Yong. Young Lions with Bill now, just trying to get a foothold in the game in these early stages. Here's Amir Hakim and Bill. It's a big old unit, Bill. And now the Stewart brothers, both playing in the starting 11 today, get involved. That was Harris with that attempted pass that's led to a throw that his brother Ryan will take. Takes it along the line, but the touch deserts Shiro Nizam. Throw for the Sailors. Taken by Nakudin. Abdil. Another big old beast out there today, Abdil. He's going to surely try and take advantage of this rare start for him. He's been used most frequently off the bench of late. Chardin, he's already finding plenty of space in midfield. It could be that Chardin's passes are what picks apart the Young Lions here this afternoon. Gabriel Quack. Abdil. Yamazaki, who scored his 2nd goal of the season with that cracker against Geylang. Here's Nakudin. First foray into the final third, Nakudin. I think he thought he spotted Ridwan off his line there, but Ridwan plucks it out the air comfortably enough. One thing the Young Lions will have to be conscious of, and it's a tactic that the Lion City Sailors have employed supremely well during the course of the season, is when the Young Lions do get their set-piece opportunities. Now, there's definitely a tug on the shirt there from Abdil. There's a cause for an early yellow card as well. So that will encourage the Young Lions. Abdil into referee Lim Liang Yi's book early. I think the referee had no choice either. It would have been a yellow card with 10 minutes to go, so why shouldn't it be a yellow card with 3 minutes gone? Yes, this is what I'm talking about. When they have these set pieces, the Young Lions, the Lion City Sailors are expert at breaking quickly and going up the other end, and I wonder whether they'll be more conservative in committing Jacob Marler forward for these opportunities. I suppose you've got to show some ambition. You can't really keep Jacob Marler away from these situations. I'm just trying to look down there to see how far advanced he is. He's certainly up there pitching for it. Jacob Marler, the number 6, who's lurking just behind Abdil there. Delivery's okay, but it's headed away and away from danger by Nakudin. Confirmation of Abdil going in the book early on. Still goalless inside 5 minutes at Geelong East, so it's as you were in the table at the moment. A point apiece in both these games would definitely suit Albirex, Nagata and Tampines, I fancy. If the Sailors don't pick up maximum points here and say Tampines get a point, that'll be a 4-point differential for the AFC Champions League place with 2 games to go. That would mean that the Sailors could beat Tampines on Wednesday, and presumably that Tampines beat Geylang on the last day of the campaign. Tampines would still finish above the Lion City Sailors. That pass is a perler. It's played in Saifullah, and Arshad is there as well, but the Young Lions doing well here, holding their own. There's a touch for Ilhan Fandi, part of that Fandi dynasty. Brother Irfan currently at BG Patum in Thailand, and Iksan with Jerv in Norway. Abdil to Yamazaki. It has been noted throughout the course of the season that it's the second half really where their passing game has really ground teams into submission. It's great to watch, but it's not always opened up teams early. They had to wait until late in the second half to really be assured of that 5-0 victory they enjoyed against the Young Lions back at the start of November. It was goalless at half-time in that one, but they scored immediately after the restart through a Jacob Marler own goal. So plenty of shrewd judges expecting a goal fest here. Might not necessarily be that way early, and that's going to be another free kick to the Young Lions, this time conceded by Chardin. As I mentioned, whenever I do a Young Lions game, the debate about whether they belong in the Premier League here will rage on and people will have their opinions, but you can't help but be impressed what Nasri Nazir has done, because as Aurelio Vidmar said, he's got them playing consistently. They've had some bad results, but they've never been on the receiving end of consecutive thumpings, if you like. That 5-0 Lion City Sailors defeat, coupled with the 4-0 defeat against Albrecht's, really the only shocking results when you look down the ledger. And as I say, many people thought they wouldn't win a game this season. They've already won 2 and they're not even bottom of the table. That dubious pleasure goes to Tanjung United, who lost yesterday. Very unfortunate Tanjung United to get nothing from that game, conceding a late penalty to go down by 3-2. Long-range effort has to be tipped over by Hassan Sunny. Well, it was a bit of a Toto ticket, that one. May as well had a go, but Hassan Sunny was taking no chances because it was swerving a little bit and dipped down. And he took absolutely no chances. So, first corner of the game doesn't go to the Sailors, it goes to the Young Lions. And again, they just have to be wary about being caught out on the quick counter off the back of this corner. Having said that, without no Lion City Sailors players stand there working. Oh, there's an opportunity. It drops loose, bouncing around in the area. Really indecisive from the Sailors. They finally belted away, but uncertainty caused after a good corner delivery. But they survive. Clever thinking by Ryan Stewart. Takes it quickly and tries to get it back. Ryan Stewart is going to need some help here. He's got Noor Adam with him. And that's another deflection that pops up for a shot on target. And Hassan Sunny will have to be careful about those ones that bobble along the ground in these conditions with the turf cutting up a little bit. Abdul. Well, it's the Young Lions that have the first attempts on goal here. 8 minutes in, it's still goalless. I think you can pretty much kiss their title hopes goodbye if they don't win here. When you certainly can, particularly if Albrecht's pick up maximum points against Tampines. It could be, without a win, the Lion City Sailors are completely out of it. Even with a win, if the Albrecht's game finishes in favour of the Japanese, they'd still be 6 points behind with 2 games to play. They've got a 2-goal better goal difference than Albrecht's Nagata. But I think it's safe to say they have the tougher running with a trip to Tampines to come on Wednesday, and then Balestier, who looked really good yesterday in their final game next Saturday. Final 2 games for Albrecht's. They finish at Hougang on the final Saturday. And they entertain Tanjung Pagar on Wednesday, and again they'll be very, very heavy favourites for. Tijeli sitting this one out with Abdul preferred at the back. That's well won in the middle of the park by Harris Stewart. And then away down the left, and this is another promising forward foray. Decent cross as well, just couldn't get a proper connection, Ilham Fandi. That was a whisker away from being 1-0 Young Lions. Hassan Sunny standing strong, but they had some joy down the left-hand side there, the Young Lions. Now over the top, and the flag will stay down, so there's defensive work to do for Jacob Marler, who expertly snuffs out the threat of Gabriel Quack. It's back with Hassan Sunny, who's had more touches than Ridwan through the first 10 minutes of this one. Gabriel Quack drops deep, finds support with Song, and that's a delightfully placed ball down the right-hand side. They've got Sharilishek in the middle. But after good work by Akari, they don't even get the corner out of it. So no goals to report as yet in tonight's 2 AIA Singapore Premier League games. Hope you're enjoying watching in Singapore on Singtel Star Hub, on the AIA Singapore Premier League social media channels, One Play Sports, and of course these pictures being broadcast around the world with our partners. Welcome to the west coast of Singapore for this pivotal match day 12 for the Lion City Sailors, and to a certain extent for the Young Lions as well, because if they were to pull off the big win here, they would only need a draw in their final game of the season to avoid the wooden spoon. They played Tanjung Pagar United on the last day of the season. And what about that race for the AFC Cup places as well? That really was blown wide open yesterday, with Geylang ceding pole position in that race to Balestier Khalsa. Hougang hot on their heels as well, despite losing Zach Anderson and Charlie Mackle, the foreign imports departing these shores. They managed to pick up a win yesterday. Naikudin doesn't get the ball, but he does get the throw. Naikudin back to Song. Jacob Marler puts his size 12s through that, and it's out for another throw. So not an electric opening, but as I said, it's in the second half of games where the Lion City Sailors have tended to be seen to their best effect. Goalless on Wednesday night at half-time against Geylang, and of course goalless in that game at Bishan against the Young Lions before they came on very strong in the second half. Song trying to delicately get that one through the middle. Picks up the second phase. They'll try and switch this to the right-hand side, but Abdil goes back towards the left. Shardan misses it out, and they'll do well to keep that in. And they don't. So, Ryan Stewart with the throw. Flicked on impressively by the Young Lions, as Ridwan has to come out of his ground, and this is an audacious attempt by Sharilishek. If it hadn't been blocked, that would have been interesting. There's still a danger there with Gabriel Quack. Ball comes in again, Sharilishek's there, and belted away by Amar Hakim. Oh, and the Young Lions could be through here. Now, what's the decision going to be in this situation? The yellow card is going to be shown to Amir Hakim. It wasn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity, but he was pretty much the last man, so that's two. Sorry, Kaishu Yamazaki going into the book. I do apologise, getting my number 5s mixed up there. Yeah, so Kaishu Yamazaki and Abdil, the two centre-backs for the Sailors in the book, inside the quarter of an hour mark. That is interesting. It was such a shame that they couldn't stay on their feet there, the Young Lions, because they were running into a lot of empty space. Jacob Marler with the free kick, a heavy touch from the Sailors, and they've hit the Young Lions in again. That's deflected up. Hassan Sunny coming to claim with a firm punch, and an expert punch at that, and just like that in the turn of an eye, the Sailors almost turning defence into attack, which has been their speciality. Well, that pass just misplaced by Sharul Nizam Mazlan. Kaishu Yamazaki's got to be careful now, because Ilhan Fandi and Sharul Nizam are capable of being a handful. And I don't think the game plan for Aurelio Vidmar was yellow cards to Abdil and Yamazaki early on. Here's Arshad. Arshad inside to Song, whose heavy touch lets him down, but Shardan will, as he always does, pick up the pieces through the middle. Now Akari. Gabriel Quack's out there. Sharilishek in the middle. Song just on the edge of the area. Quack turns inside. It's left for Sharilishek. They wanted a free kick just on the edge of the area. Referee Lim Liang Yi not interested. And the Young Lions, well, they're being afforded plenty of time and space here. And arguably, they've had the better of the opening 50 minutes. Flags up for offside. Yeah, percentage stats, the Sailors 56, the Young Lions 44, but that's now 4 attempts on goal for the Young Lions through the early stages. Route 1 stuff from the Young Lions. Flags up for offside against Ilhan Fandi. Shardan to Abdul. Pace in several Singapore Premier League games noticeably slowing over recent weeks as these players who aren't used to playing 2 games in a week non-stop and have been doing just that for the best part of 6 weeks. Here's Naikudin. He's got 2 red shirts to beat, and eventually it's belted out by Ryan Stewart for a throw. Naikudin gets it back from Shahril Ishak, who's looking for an option, but he's usually the man that's supposed to be right in the middle, and he's dropping deep. Abdil over the top. This is the chase worth making for Arshad, and he's got there first, squares the ball. And a no-nonsense clearance by Amir Hakim, and that will serve up the first corner of the game for the Lions City Sailors. Already seen the Young Lions have one corner that caused a bit of defensive uncertainty. What can the Sailors do with their first set-piece opportunity? Shardan to take. Abdil is up from the back, near post. Gets it back well to Shardan, who's slightly miscued with that cross that's gone very, very high. And there's a job on for Kaishu Yamazaki, a job he completes well and gets a really good ball across the area that dropped on the penalty spot, but there was no blue shirt there to ram it home. Good spell this, though, from the Sailors. Saifullah back from suspension. Abdil. Akari. And they end up having to go back to Hassan Sunny, so job done through what's coming up rapidly to the first 20 minutes of the game. There will, of course, be a hydration break midway through each half if you're just returning to the AIA Singapore Premier League post-COVID. Amir Hakim over again to clear the danger. Naikudin with a throw. And it is becoming increasingly evident. It certainly was in that game against Geylang. I know they won 3-0, but sounds like it's stating the obvious. Stipe Plazibat, such a big miss, not just because of his goals. He leads the goal-scoring charts in the league with 14, 5 for Hougang, then 9 post-COVID with the Sailors. And to put that into some perspective, he's obviously already missed a couple of games, and he's still 6 clear of Tomoyuki Doi, who's his nearest pursuer. Jordan Webb suspended today on 7 with Boris Kapitovic. The leading goal scorer for the Lions City Sailors outside of Stipe is Song Ol-yong with 6. Marla. That's an uncharacteristic poor pass from Marla, but he's helped out of bother by Amaral. Akari. And back to Yamazaki. Shardan through the middle. Gabriel Quack. And the Lions hustle, gets them the ball back. The Young Lions, that is, and Noor Adam up against Gabriel Quack, still got the ball at his feet. Noor Adam, though, probably under the circumstances, I thought they won that throw. It actually concedes the throw to the Sailors. Yamazaki, Saifullah. Well anticipated by Jacob Marler, and maybe a little bit unfortunate to be pinged for the free kick, for the foul. On Song. Well, this is too far out to have a poke, but I'm sure they'll try and loft it into the area. Let's have a look at this Jacob Marler challenge again. I suppose when you come in from an angle like that, just behind the player, you're always likely to be pinged for the free kick. Chardin thinks he spotted something, tried to thread it through to Gabriel Quack, but Bill Mamadou can help them bring it away. Radam, oh, they're just being a little bit careless in the middle of the park when in possession now, the Young Lions. They can't keep inviting the Sailors forward like this. Sharilishak. Man, an acres of space over on that far side is Akari. But his cross causes no problems. So 20 minutes in at both Geelong West and Geelong East, and we still await the afternoon's first goal. It was around about this time yesterday when the goal started flowing in the game at Hougang Stadium. That 1-1 at half-time after Farkan's opener for Tanjung Pagar was cancelled out by Shawal Anwar's penalty just a couple of minutes later. Starting to set up shop now in the Young Lions half of the Sailors. But we haven't seen Ridwan called into any emergency action just yet. The only shots on target so far have come from the Young Lions. Aurelio Vidmar looks on with his coaching staff, knowing that by the end of the day, their title challenge could be done if they don't get the win here and results go against them elsewhere. They will also be out of title contention. They'll be out of AFC Champions League contention if they were to lose here and Tampines were to beat Albirex Nagata. So plenty of permutations as we close in on the final days of the season. Just 6 days to go in the campaign. 2 games yesterday, 2 today, a full programme of 4 on Wednesday, and then a full programme of 4 on Saturday the 5th when the curtain comes down, and plenty up for grabs. Here's Song with a lovely pass down the right-hand side, outside of the foot. Neither a shot nor a cross from Gabriel Quack, and Ridwan gathers it comfortably. Now on the charge, Ryan Stewart comes up with a throw under pressure from Arsad. Midway through the first half, the next break in play I fancy will be taking the hydration break. Here's the fleet-footed Shiro Nizam Mazlan, gets it back to Ryan Stewart. His cross just evading Ilhan Fandi, but they've got the right idea. And they clearly, for me, have improved as the season has gone on, the Young Lions. The benefit of all these boys playing together may yet still be felt at international level in the years to come. Good battling from Harris Stewart. They've got an opportunity here that hits the crossbar. Well, my oh my, the hustle of Harris Stewart nearly allowing Ilhan Fandi to score a spectacular opener. Hassan Sunny was rooted to the spot and it just clipped the top of the Sailors' crossbar. Well, they've had all the possession, the Sailors, but the Young Lions are arguably looking more dangerous. That was casual from Gabriel Quack and Akari. Harris Stewart reacted well, and Ilhan Fandi, great vision to look up and instantaneously see that there was an angle to try and maybe loop it over Hassan Sunny, and the crossbar keeps the score goalless. Abdil to Saifullah. Is that going to wake up the Sailors to get their groove on? Near side offside is Arshad again. Well, it's a disciplined display from the Young Lions, and I suppose the only issue you've got is, will they come to regret some of those near misses that they've enjoyed in the opening 24.5 minutes? Amir Hakim. Well kept in by Ryan Stewart over the top, and they're chasing this and taking no chances. Abdil belts it out under pressure from Shiro Nizam. Yeah, Ilhan Fandi hitting the crossbar there. He hasn't scored since the opening day of the season back on the 1st of March. He's had some national service commitments that have kept him out of action for large chunks since then, and obviously the COVID break as well, but hasn't scored a goal since the 1st of March. So coming up to 9 months since he scored. It was a goal in a 4-1 defeat to the hands of Hougang. And we will now take the hydration break. Updating you at what's happening at Geelong East. It's still goalless between Albirex Niigata and Tampines Rovers. So with the top 3 at the moment, a quarter of a way through the afternoon's action, all in receipt of a point if it stays as it is. It would see Tampines with 2 games to play, 2 behind Albirex as it stands. The Sailors would beat 4 off Tampines with 2 games to go, but of course one of those is against Tampines Rovers, and the Young Lions would go up to 7 points, 2 clear of Tanjung Pagar United, who are 8th and bottom with 2 games to go, but of course they play each other on the final day of the campaign. But we kind of went into yesterday's game at Bishan expecting Geylang to bounce back from the Sailors' defeat and administer another winless game for Balestier Karlsruhe. It didn't work out, and just like that, the AFC Cup slot race has blown wide open. So the way this season's gone, who knows? Look at some of the scenarios. If the Sailors were to win here, as they're expected to, of course, they'd move to 23 points. And if the other game was to finish in a draw, they'd be then 2 off Tampines, who they still have to play on Wednesday. And only then 4 off Albirex Niigata. But Albirex Niigata with a win today would have one hand on the trophy, you fancy, for what would be a 4th SPL title in 5 seasons. Kaishu Yamazaki to Abdul. Abdul under not much pressure. Plenty of time to pick a pass. He ends up going short to Gabriel Kwak. Now back with Kaishu Yamazaki. Squares it to Chardin. It was a good leave from Gabriel Kwak. He might look to get it now, though. Another good lead from Gabriel Kwak. He's had a huge impact in that passage of play without touching the ball twice. Bill. That was too casual from Bill Mamadou. And you've given Song Yong a chance there. And now it's Arshad, whose pass through the middle was not a good one. Back with Chardin, though. Chardin trying to create the space to get it through the middle again. And, well, they're liking these no-look leaves, aren't they? The Lion City Sailors. They're trying to catch out the young, inexperienced young Lions. Offside against the Young Lions that time with Shahrul Nizam. It's over the top. It's a good ball as well. Gabriel Kwak. Shahrul Ishak continuing to be frustrated by a rugged and determined Young Lions back 4. Bill's lost out again. He's going to give the free kick the Young Lions way, but Bill Mamadou's been fortunate a couple of times that he's given away possession and it's not come back to haunt him. Good ball over the top to the left, but a little bit too much on it, so Hassan Sani, alert as ever, is out to gather. Yamazaki, half an hour in, still no shot on target from the Lion City Sailors, but they'll get a free kick here, which they think about taking quickly, but then Saifullah thinks better of it. Might be a little bit winded there as well after that coming together with a very pugnacious Harris Stewart. Seems to be holding his left elbow there. I think it might just be the way he fell. But the physio will be required. Saifullah back from suspension, having missed the game against Geylang. Half hour in though, and Ilhan found his crossbar hitting effort really the only highlight of the game to this point. Two shots on target for the Young Lions. One long-range effort that Hassan Sunny had to tip over. Of course, that debate about whether a shot that hits the woodwork being considered a shot on target rages on. It's not a shot on target on my book because the crossbar's not the target. Gabriel Quack over this with Chardin. They play it short, and Gabriel Quack on this surface, you're going to have to hit it really sweetly to score from a long way out, maybe relying on a goalkeeping clanger. Saw a couple of those yesterday at both games. It's well picked up by Arshad. Working down the right-hand side this time. And it ends up once more coming to nothing. So Young Lions are battling well. They're losing the battle in terms of percentage of possession, 64 to 36, but they are looking dangerous when they do get a chance to attack a Lion City Sailors defence that has looked vulnerable at times this season. They have looked vulnerable from one corner opportunity here, as giving away the throw that time was Naikudin. Arshad, well won. Chardin picked up by Sharilishak, and they'll get the throw. Taken by Naikudin. Abdel to Chardin. Down the right, here's Gabriel Quack. Neat touch from Song. Quack out-muscled, he's having some game, he's working really hard. Harris Stewart. Not giving the Sailors players a moment's peace on the ball. And full marks up to this point for Nasri Nasir's game plan. Question is, if they do go behind, is there a plan B? We'll find out. Or will we? Because it's not too many times this season the Lion City Sailors have gone, what is it now, best part of 34 minutes without troubling the opposition keeper. That might change now. Decent cross headed out by Sharilishak, and it's gone in. Well, the replay will be interesting. It's certainly going to be claimed by Sharilishak, and I wonder whether Ridwan's just been caught out there. It was a teasing cross. It didn't initially look like Sharilishak had got a rock-solid touch on it. And did it come off another player before it hit the back of the net? I'm a long way up in the gods from downstairs. Let's try and make head nor hair of this. It's either going to be Sharilishak or Arshad. It's Sharilishak with the initial header, and it was Arshad with the second header that really did for Ridwan. So it wasn't a goalkeeping mistake. It was just very quick thinking from Arshad. After Sharilishak had initially got the header in that was veering off target, it has to be said, without that intervention by Arshad, it would not have gone in. And that's Arshad's first goal of the season, and it gives the Sailors the lead 34 minutes in. And I asked the question just moments before that ball hit the back of the net, what would the Young Lions do if they went behind and they had to start being a little more aggressive in their attacking play? Well, we're about to find out. To their credit, they've gone straight up the other end and won a corner. Their second of the game, and the last one they had one. There's plenty of uncertainty in the Lion City Sailors defence. Expecting plenty of movement after Nur Adam strikes this. They're all mingling around the penalty spot. They'll be trying to get on the end. We saw a very quick leveller yesterday for Haugang after Tanjung Pagar took an early lead. Nice feint by Nur Adam. Now he's got to deliver a telling cross. I mean, it's not bad. Jacob Mahler's there. Heads it in the air. The goal is open, surely. Off the line. Amir Hakim had to score. Really good thinking by Nur Adam. Jacob Mahler left Hassan Sunny stranded. And Amir Hakim really needs to be scoring that. He wasn't under a huge amount of pressure. And a big worry for the young Lions is now Jacob Mahler's down on the deck in some discomfort. I wonder whether there was a coming together with Hassan Sunny, but it should be 1-1. It's the third decent opportunity that the young Lions have created in the first 36 minutes. They've had the better chances of the two teams, but it's the Sailors that have made their one count. Nur Adam with a really interesting ball that committed Hassan Sunny. He had his legs stretched across Jacob Mahler. That was the coming together. And Amir Hakim, any kind of power on that, and it's 1-1. So Nasri Nasir will be sitting there thinking we should be level here, maybe even in front. They're certainly not disgracing themselves, even though they're in a worse position now than they were after 36.5 minutes in the game at Bishan. At the start of November, goalless there at half-time before the Sailors took over in the second half. Arshad, the goal scorer. Back to Naikudin. It's well picked up by Harris Stewart, who continues to impress. That'll be a throw to the young Lions. There's been a goal at Jurong East as well. Albrecht Nagata lead Tampines Rovers by 1-0. And so we can start getting stuck into my favourite pastime, which is the league table as it stands. As it stands, Albrecht Nagata will be 5 points clear at the top of the AIA Singapore Premier League with just 2 games to go after tonight. That's if it stays as it is. And if Tampines go on to lose that game, the Lion City Sailors will just be 1 point behind the Stags, with the 2 scheduled to meet on Wednesday night at Bishan. So a goal in each game late in the first half. A goal for Albrechts at Jurong East, a goal for the Lion City Sailors here. th minute goal for Albrechts has put them in the driving seat at Jurong East, and without Jordan Webb and Tampines have not looked their selves really certainly a shadow of the team that put 4 past the Lion City Sailors back in March. Abdul. Song. Can he pick a perfect pass here? We're not too bad. Naikudin's done well to keep it in, and little option for Ryan Stewart but to block that out for a throw. Naikudin went through all their legs, so it should be a young Lions throw, I think. Well, referee debated it for a while. The assistants in the other half of the field on that, so he was guided by he. Not too many complaints for the young Lions, so it looks like they got it spot on. Yamazaki. Abdil. Shardan. Quite casual, that pass from Saifullah. Akari. Drifted over everyone, but Arshad could be there. Arshad for 2, and he's given the penalty for the foul by Ridwan. For the second straight game, the Sailors will get an opportunity from the spot against the young Lions. Arshad cottoned on to that clever ball into the area, and Widran brought him down. And this could be game, set, match 5 minutes before half-time. It's an intelligent ball over the top, and Arshad got there and then was fouled by Ridwan. It was Quite irresponsible, really, from Ridwan. He did well to commit to stop Asha getting a clear sight on goal, but there's no need to bring him down, at least try and pull away. And it was an easy enough decision for referee Lim Liang Yi. So it'll be Song Yong for his 9th of the season. Make that his 7th. So it's his 7th of the season, Song Yong. And why I had 9th goal of the season in my mind, it's because Tomoyuki Doi is the man that's given Albirex Nagata the lead. So Tomoyuki Doi's 9th sees Albirex go 1-0 up at Jurong East. And Song Yong's 7th of the season sees the Sailors go 2 up against the Young Lions. And you have to think it could start getting ugly now, because the Lion City Sailors have been a second half team for the most part this season. What's the Young Lions' response to going 2 down? They'll win a free kick immediately. That Amir Hakim, who really should have made it 1-1, remember. They've had chances, could have easily scored a couple themselves, the Young Lions. That's a terrible free kick from Amir Hakim, and this is where they're so dangerous. Free-flowing, counter-attacking football. Song Yong gets it out wide to Gabriel Quapp. They're queuing up. Gabriel Quapp might go on his own. He goes down, and it's another free kick in a very dangerous piece of real estate, and they'll be queuing up to Chancellor Arm here. Chardin, I'm imagining, will be at the front of the queue. Song will be an option as well. And after a spirited opening half an hour, it's starting to go badly wrong for the Young Lions here. Gabriel Quack up against Jacob Marler, who he turns inside out. Harris Stewart couldn't get to him, and Jacob Marler, with the arm on the shoulder, brings Gabriel Quack down. Now, what are they going to do here? Play paper, scissors, stone to decide who takes it. Ridwan, he owes his team something after giving away that penalty, and he might be called into action here. The Young Lions wall is currently 4 yards in front of the kicker. Referee Lim Liang Yi will be bringing that back and getting his spray paint out. It's going to be a 4-man wall. Now, what are the options here? It looks like they've whittled it down to 2 potential takers. Chardin's got the ball in hand, so I'd imagine he'll be the one that's striking it. But the man that won it fancies a piece of it as well. Gabriel Quack or Chardin? Well, the way they're lining up, it looks like it's going to be Chardin for mine. Can they go 3-0 up before half-time? Straight into the wall. Never threatening Ridwan after all that build-up. The free kick. Now, they don't want to take this quickly, do they? Because it's a real promising position for the Lion City Sailors to come up with a set-piece goal here, because the shot is got to concern Ridwan, and the cross is an option as well, with Abdil, the big man, up from the back. Chardin goes for the cross, gets ahead on it, Abdil, and it's over the bar. Well, that's why he was up there, and he knows he should have scored. He won't get a better opportunity to get his first goal of the season. Young Lions still lead by 2-0, but it should be 3. Into the final 60 seconds of the first 45. 2 minutes added time at the end of the first half, I'm being told. It's assuming we don't get any further injuries. Still 1-0 to Albirex Nagata at Jurong East. Here's Abdil. Yamazaki. Arshad. Pitch is starting to cut up quite badly. As you can see, it's in much worse shape than it was 45 minutes ago, that's for sure. A couple of very suspect patches, and it's to the Sailors' credit, because you'd think it would be a hindrance to them with their passing style of football that they've managed to take control of this game before half-time. Remember when they played at Bishan, it was goalless at the break. And the Sailors went on to win by 5-0, so you kind of shudder to think what might be awaiting the Young Lions in the second half. But they must take heart. They've had their chances and they nearly come up with another possession still there. If only Emma Hakeem had put away that opportunity that resulted from the second phase of a corner just before the Sailors went up the other end and won the penalty. It could be a very different story. Ilhan Fandi struck the bar as well, so not all been one-way traffic, but it's the experience of the clinical Lion City Sailors that at the moment is steering them to a second straight victory. They've won 4 of their last 5, the only blip being that 3-2 loss at Albrechts, but it was quite significant, that one, in the context of the title race. Jacob Marler pushing forward, looks to get on the end of it. Jacob Marler off his knee, and Hassan Sunny acrobatically plucks it out the air, and that might just be that for this first half action. Abdul to Saifullah. Yamazaki. So they've put the cue in the rack here. The Lion City Sailors happy just to see this 2-0 scoreline out to half-time, passing it sideways under minimal pressure from the Young Lions. Our referee, Lim Liang Yi, I'm sure will blow for half-time pretty much bang on 47 minutes, with neither team showing any appetite to continue the half. Well, the Young Lions have had their moments, most notably when Ilhan Fandi struck the crossbar, and that was before the Lion City Sailors took the lead. A good cross from Akari, initially headed by Shawal Ishak, into the path of Arshad, who scored his first of the season after 34 minutes. And then 5 minutes before half-time, what could turn out to be the killer blow as Gabriel Kwak chats with the referee. Song Woo-young from the penalty spot after Ridwan had recklessly brought down the scorer of the first goal, Arshad. No mistake from Song Woo-young, who's now scored 7 this season. We'll update you with what's happening at Jurong East very shortly. It is 1-0 to the league leaders there at half-time. But at the break here at Jurong West, it's Young Lions 0, the Lion City Sailors 2. Back to Geelong West, half-time score here. Young Lions 0, Lion City Sailors 2. The Sailors looking to keep their slim title hopes alive with a win here. They're going to need help from elsewhere should they go on to lift the title, and at the moment they're not getting any help from Tampines Rovers, who are losing 1-0 at half-time. More on that in a minute. Here's the best of the action from the first half. There's that cross from the right-hand side. Shoaib Ishak's header into the path of Arshad, who was onside. And that was 1-0 in the 34th minute. This was the penalty. Ridwan coming out, Arshad getting there first, and a simple decision really for Lim Liang Yi. Song Yong, 7th of the season. No mistake at all from the penalty spot. That highlight reel, though, doesn't really do us justice, because Ilhan Fandi hit the crossbar before the Sailors got their first goal, and then Amir Hakim should have equalised from a set piece where Nur Adam played the ball in. Jacob Marler headed it across the face of goal with Hassan Sani stranded, but Amir Hakim's effort was blocked on the line with not much pace on it. That's a tail of the tape, and that shows you more shots on target from the Young Lions than there was from the Lion City Sailors in that half of football, but it's still the Sailors who are on top. And make a note of those 2 yellow cards as well, with Abdul and Kaishu Yamazaki both in the referee's notebook early. So the Lion City Sailors at the moment are doing what they can do, but they need some help from elsewhere if they want to keep their title hopes alive. I suppose it swings and roundabouts, because this scoreline I'm about to give you from Geelong East doesn't help their title aspirations at all, but it does help their aspirations of what I'm sure underneath it all is their main goal this season, and that's to qualify for next year's AFC Champions League. And the fact that Albrecht Nagata are leading Tampines by a goal to 0 at the break means the equation is this. As it stands, the league table, Albrecht Nagata played 12, points 29. Tampines played 12, points 24. And Lion City Sailors played 12, points 23, which means a win for the Lion City Sailors on Wednesday would put their AFC Champions League fate back in their own hands. And that's the game after tonight that everyone will be talking about. The Lion City Sailors, who were beaten in March, remember, by 4 goals to 0. A second-half annihilation of the Sailors by the Stags. They'll be out for revenge at Bishan on Wednesday, 7:45 Singapore time. That's GMT +8, the kickoff at Bishan. Also on Wednesday, the Young Lions will be back here to take on Gailing International, have to recover and dust themselves off after that disappointing display against Balestier Kelsey yesterday. The Young Lions, whatever happens today, won't go into that game as the bottom team, but they'll be wanting to make sure they secure their status of avoiding the wooden spoon. And speaking of the wooden spoon, the team that's in possession of that at the moment, Tanjung Pagar United, face the prospect of going to Geelong East, which is also their home ground, with Albrecht Nagata potentially winning the title there on Wednesday. And Hougang and Balestier will round up a busy Wednesday night in the AIA Singapore Premier League. The action's coming thick and fast. It'll come thick and fast in a couple of moments when we come back to Geelong West. Half-time here, Young Lions 0, Lion City Sailors 2. Half-time next. Welcome back live to Geelong West. We're just about to get set for the second half. Half-time nearly over. Arshad and Song's goals giving the Sailors the 2-0 advantage at the break, as they tend to do. The Young Lions out plenty early for the start of the second half, going through some pre-half warm-ups. Still no sign of the Sailors starting 11. The substitutes are out there on the right-hand side of the pitch, just having a little kick-about. And I can only see 4 of them, so it may be the Sailors are making a change at half-time. There's Ilhan Fandi here at the crossbar when the score was 0-0, remember, after good hustle from Harris Stewart. So there has been some encouraging signs for the Young Lions. But clearly, it's going to be very difficult to come back from 2 down against a team of the calibre of the Sailors, particularly with the strength and depth they have from the bench. When you think that Adam Swandy, Isdin Shafiq and Hafiz Noor could potentially still get a run out here, there's a reason why they're known as a second half scoring team, the Lion City Sailors. It's not brain surgery, it's because they've got that great strength in depth. A reminder at Geelong East, Albrecht's lead through Tomoyuki Doi's 9th of the season against second place Tampines Rovers, and that would put them 5 points clear with just 2 games to play. Would still need them, I think, just judging the mathematics, to need not just a draw against Tanjung Pagar on Wednesday, need all 3 points. And remember, of course, Tanjung Pagar United and Albrecht drew 2-2 pre-COVID in a very entertaining game, so we can't take anything for granted. Certainly nothing's going to be won today. The only thing that was potentially on the cards today was that the Lion City Sailors could lose here and kiss goodbye to their AFC Champions League chances. But for that to have happened, they'd need to lose this one and Tampines win, and that clearly doesn't look like happening. Taking an age to come out and get ready for this second half, the Lion City Sailors, and there's still a fierce debate about a couple of things. There's Harris Stewart, been really impressed with him in the first half, been at it non-stop with some hustle. He coughed up one turnover that nearly led to Ilhan Fandi opening the goal scoring in the game. So then, we'll update you as things tick along at Geelong East, but we'll focus once more on Geelong West. Second half with the Young Lions playing in the red from right to left and the Sailors in the blue playing from left to right. They've been out there ready to start this half for the best part of 5 minutes, the Young Lions. Sailors with one last little huddle, and they'll be good to go. No changes at half-time then. Second half is officially underway. My word, that was a long wait for the whistle. So the Sailors 2 up. Jacob Marler inside. Lovely turn from Harris Stewart. He has impressed today. Bill Mamadou, who's got a presence, but sometimes his second touch has been letting him down through that first half. Gave the ball away a couple of times unnecessarily in midfield, but he's battled hard there. And eventually gives up the free kick for the foul on Arshad, whose first goal of the season set the Sailors on their way in the 34th minute. Taken short by the Sailors. Yamazaki back underway as well at Geelong East. Bill again, that was a nice pass. Found Ilhan, who's gone down. Ilhan, hope that's not serious. I think he's okay. They're shorn of their centre forward, and that's allowed Naikudin to track back and then get into a bit of a coming together with Shairul Nizam, which has left the young lion on the deck clutching his ankle. So both Marler and Shairul Nizam in quick succession going down with injuries. He's in some discomfort there. The physio is trotting over. Let's see what happened here. It's Naikudin. He's got a kick on the shin, didn't he? So the thumbs up from the physio would be interpreted as the international sign language for he's going to be okay. But they will be down to 10 for a few brief moments here, the young Lions. Abdil. Yamazaki in the game at Bisham between these two at the start of the month. They scored less than 60 seconds into the second half. Haven't managed to repeat that feat here as Shahra Nizam's back in the action. Yamazaki to Abdil. Oh, strange old game this now, isn't it? Because Sailors under not much pressure. Just depends how hungry they are for goals. Arshad, because clearly once this game is confirmed, and maybe one more goal will confirm it, as Arshad might be on the way to getting that third goal. Big goal at Geelong East. Tampines Rovers have leveled it up 2 minutes into the second half. Albrecht Nagata 1, Tampines Rovers 1. Don't kiss goodbye to the title race yet. Details of the goal scorer to come. Meanwhile here, the Sailors have their first corner of the second stanza. And that won't be a goal that will please them. I was about to say, once they've got this game secure, maybe another goal will see Aurelia Vidmar make mass changes with the match on Wednesday in mind against Tampines Rovers. Are they going to blow the title race wide open? Coming from behind to win at Albrechts, we shall see. Headed away by Jacob Mahler, only as far as the edge of the area. Shot comes in from Song Yon, but it's blocked. Akari, who's always the deep man at corners for the Sailors, gets it back to Hassan Sunny. They're in no rush at all here. And is this Cramp? Well, 49 minutes in and Cramp strikes with Ilham Fandi, who in his defence came back from national service recently and wasn't deemed to have been fully fit by coach Nasri, hence it was a while for him to claim back a starting berth. They're asking for the stretcher. I'm assuming it's Cramp, the way Ridwan was stretching him. Looks like he's now going to get up under his own steam. Big bad Boris Kapitovic with the goal straight after half-time. His 8th of the season. And Tampines are back on level terms. Remember, if they can come from behind to win there, Tampines will be top of the table tonight and could still afford to lose the game against the Lion City Sailors and then beat Galang on the final day and still qualify for the AFC Champions League. But of course, if they do the hard work of beating Albrechts tonight, they'll want to complete the job by beating the Sailors on Wednesday. That would be some double. We restart with a drop ball. Hassan Sunny unopposed, gets it to Yamazaki. When Yamazaki and Abdil lying deep here, there's not a red shirt within 20 yards of them. It's almost like they're passing it from side to side to try and go the young lions in, and Coach Nasri's instructions clearly are just let them mess around with it there and don't overcommit. Harris Stewart turned by Song. Abdul to Song. Over the top looking for Akari. This is the furthest forward I've seen Akari this afternoon. Gabriel Quack, met by a firm header from Amir Hakim. Still the Sailors probe forward. Change is coming for the Young Lions, I'm reliably informed, and Ilhan will be replaced by Karin Nadim, who's a goal scorer for the Young Lions this season. And Amir Hakim will be replaced as well by Daniel Crichton. Akari, I don't think it was he that was offside. I think it might have been Sharilishak. Here come the changes. So first rolls of the dice from Nasri to try and change this game around. So Kyrin replacing Ilhan. And, well, he's got Scott on the back of his shirt there. I have to say, on the official team list provided to us, it says Daniel Crichton. So Scott doesn't strike me as a nickname, so do bear with us on that. I'll endeavour to find out the issue. But I suppose if it's the name on the back of his shirt, he knows best. We'll call him Scott. The official team sheet says Daniel Crichton. Abdil. If you had $1 for every time Abdil and Yamazaki have exchanged passes today, you'd be a millionaire. And just to confirm, Scott Crichton, not Daniel as is on the team sheet, unless that's a middle name maybe, replacing Amir Hakim. That was a dangerous pass, and Bill's latched onto this and spread it out wide well as well. They could be in business all of a sudden. Ryan Stewart gets it back to his brother Harris. Now out to that far side, over the top. They were looking for the newly arrived Kyrin Nadim there. Couldn't find him. Nice shimmy with the shoulder and go. And that was a lovely touch from Song. Gabriel Quack, is he onside here? If the flag stays down, they could be in business. Gabriel Quack with a square ball and smashed home for 3-0 by Arshad, his second of the game. His first goals of the season coming with just 3 games to go. And that was all started by a lovely touch from Sung Woo-young. Gabriel Quack with that trademark burst down the right-hand side. And when he squared it for Arshad, he made no mistake at all. Young Lions 0, Lion City Sailors 3. Well, Arshad's now on a hat-trick. And you get the feeling there might be more goals to come. Only Stipe Plazimat and Jordan Webb have scored hat-tricks in the AIA Singapore Premier League this season. Timed that pass well. Did Song. Not as well as Arshad timed the run, though, to smash that in. Good work from Gabriel Quack. Another assist for Gabriel Quack in a season where he leads that chart with now 7. Now they come down the right, the Young Lions, trying to get on the score sheet with Shairul Nizam. Seeing it go out for a throw. What a turnaround at Jurong East. It's now Albirex Niigata 1, Tampines Rovers 2. And that has huge significance in the context of the AIA Singapore Premier League table. As it stands, Tampines Rovers are top of the league. Big goal at Jurong East. And don't forget, you can catch that game as well live right now on Singtel Star Hub, the AIA Singapore Premier League social media channels, and One Play Sports as well. Whatever Gavin Lee said to the Stags at half-time, it's worked wonders. They've scored twice in 10 minutes and have turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead. Adam Swandy is going to be entering the fray for the Lion City Sailors eventually. As Song Yong now is being wrapped up in cotton wool, no doubt, for what's going to be a blockbuster against Tampines Rovers now. So Adam Swandy with his trademark appearance off the bench. Arshad's hat-trick dream has been squashed as he is withdrawn, and Isdin the other man to come off the bench. So Isdin and Swandy on, and this has got the hallmarks of a kind of game where Adam Swandy and Gabriel Quack would run riot in the final 15 minutes. Confirmation Adam Swandy officially on for Arshad, and Isdin officially on for Song. What a turnaround for the Stags at Geelong East. Amarul, I'm being told, has got the second goal for Tampines Rovers. And boy, oh boy, does that shake things up with 2 games to go if all these scorelines stay the same. You think you can book the Lion City Sailors in for 3 points here. Tampines, who obviously got to hold out for half an hour against a Japanese side in Albirex Nagata, who we know won't lack for fitness. But if it all stays as it is now, Tampines will be top, played 12, 27 points. Albirex Nagata played 12, 26 points in second, and the Sailors third, played 12, 20, 3 points in third. Here's Amarul to the edge of the area, and then rebuffed. Well won in the second phase by Bill. He gets it to Noor Adam, and Abdil turns that behind for a corner for the Young Lions. They've got their first corner of the game early in the first half and nearly came away with a goal for it. What can they do from this, which is just now their third corner of the game? 3-3 on the corner count. Harris Stewart over to take it. Flicked on near post, but only flicked on behind, which wasn't the desired effect for Shahrul Nizam. Here's Gabriel Quack. Some season he's having. Heard Noor Ali mention him in midweek as a potential player of the season candidate, and you couldn't really argue with that. Obviously Stipe Plazibat's there, but Gabriel Quack, 7 assists now and 4 goals. Noor Adam inside, edge of the area. Noor Adam might pick up the second phase here. Just crowded out of it. As Isdin has taken over the captain's armband from Hassan Sunny. Noted there. A reminder, as this game limps along, you can also watch on Singtel Star Hub the AIA Singapore Premier League Facebook page and the One Play Sports Network, the ongoing drama at Jurong East, just 4 miles from here on this big moving day on Sunday. Tampines, who topped the table for 8 months of the season, only deposed recently after a shocking run of games where they threw leads away against Tanjung Pagar, Balestier, Kaohsiung and Geylang. So Albrecht surged to the top, but Tampines Rovers, are they hitting their mark at just the right time? And can they go back-to-back and beat Albrechts today and the Sailors on Wednesday? Really does open things up in the context of all the races. So we're going to go into Wednesday and potentially next Saturday with everything still up for grabs. The AFC Cup spots, the Champions League spot. Oh, it's a rare flop from a high ball from Ridwan. And I tell you something, the Stags look like they're going top of the league. They now lead Albrechts Nagata by 3-1. Tampines running riot in the second half against Albrechts Nagata. And they'll be the only team to do the double over Albrechts in the league this season, I believe. Lion City Sailors, remember, lost twice to Albrechts this campaign. Yeah, so even accounting for the variety of scorelines we get on Wednesday, it's very conceivable that all the races, Wooden Spoon, AFC Cup, AFC Champions League and the title could be up for grabs. Come next Saturday. Adam Swandy trying to get there, but Ryan Stewart gets there first. Is in. It's too much on it. Goes through to Ridwan. "90 minutes played in this second half, and game unfortunately is over as a contest. Has been really since Song Ho-young struck that penalty just before half-time. Came off at Lion City Sailors, so it will be a throw to the young Lions. Aquari just querying that. Well, Boris Kapitovic with his second of the game has made it 3-1. That takes him on to 9 goals, level with Tomoyuki Doi, who's also scored today to bring him up to 9 goals. Stipe Plasbat, the only player in the division that's in double digits for the season, and he may well not play again, so who knows, maybe there's an outside shot for the Golden Boot race as well, right the way down to the final day of the season. Whichever way you shake it down, this is shaping up to be the most exciting climax to an AIA Singapore Premier League season in the competition's history. In these extraordinary COVID-19 times, it looks like we're delivering an extraordinary football season. Noor Adam, free kick for the Young Lions. Lion City Sailors will be keen to register a clean sheet here, because if they do, it'll be their first back-to-back pair of clean sheets this season. Hassan Sunny plucks that one out of the air calmly enough. Just to confirm, Tampines scored 3 goals in 14 minutes to blow the title race wide open. Of course, there's still plenty of work to do for Tampines, because even though a draw with that result in mind, if they go on to win that game against the Lion City Sailors, would guarantee them AFC Champions League qualification, with Tanjung Pagar awaiting Albrechts on Wednesday in a game you'd expect the Japanese to win, and then Albrechts visiting Hougang, another team who've had their struggles of late on the final day. They may need to pick up maximum points against the Lion City Sailors on Wednesday. But they'll be high in spirits if that scoreline stays the same at Jurong East here. This game is just meandering along, really. Get the feeling the Young Lions don't believe they can get back into it, try as they might, and they're not downing tools. It's just psychological, I fancy, as Noor Adam gets a cross in that's easily belted away. And I'm sure the Lion City Sailors boys are now thinking, well, let's just get to Wednesday without anyone else picking up an injury, as Jacob Marler wins a header, but it drifts through quite comfortably to Hassan Sunny. Jacob Marler climbing all over Saifullah there to give away the free kick. It's Gabriel Quack onside, here he is. Last time he was in this possession. Seconds later, the Sailors had scored, not this time. Nor Adam. Harry Stewart. Hafiz Noor is about to enter the fray for the Sailors, for Shahril Ishak. And Faisal Roslan is also about to come on as well. We'll confirm those changes for you now. So Shahril Ishak, fortunately for him, another game without a goal. I'm sure he'd have fancied getting on the score sheet tonight, but he'll be replaced by Hafiz Noor. Worked hard, Shahril Ishak, but it's an unenviable task having to act as Stipe Plazibat's understudy. And there's also a chance for Faisal to enter the fray for Akari. And again, I'm sure this is a question of Aurelio Vidmar just wrapping cotton wool to the key players he believes could be a factor on Wednesday. And Shahril Ishak, assuming Stipe Plazibat isn't fit by then, does still fit that bill. Yamazaki. From Noor Adam, was it? That gives the free kick to the Sailors. Well, the substitutions are flowing now. Shahril Nizam is about to be replaced by Fikri. And Noor Adam is going to be replaced by Mark Ryan Tan, who's an exciting player to watch when he's in full flow, even though his final product's got a bit of developing to do. Pinched by the Sailors. Here's Hafiz Noor. Confirmation of Mark Ryan Tan's arrival as Noor Adam takes a seat. The Young Lions on Wednesday back here against Geylang, and that will bring about, with 20 minutes to go, the hydration break. Showing his onto the bench. So a reminder here, the Sailors lead 3-0 and are going to solidify their position in third. A win here would mean they will finish at absolute worst third, and they do guarantee their qualification for the AFC Cup group stage at minimum. But the big story is the title race is back to being a three-way battle, and it's back potentially with Tampines at the top of the table. They lead at Albirex Niigata by 3-1. Remember, they trailed 1-0 at half-time in that one, courtesy of Tomoyuki Doi. But an Amaral goal sandwiched in between two from Boris Kapitovic has put Tampines in control of not just that game, but their own destiny once more in the AIA Singapore Premier League. If it stays as it is, Tampines Rovers will be a point clear of Albirex and 4 clear of the Sailors with just 2 games to go. And that would mean it's quite complicated, really, because if you are watching from overseas this coverage, the league title and the AFC Champions League group spot aren't exactly the same thing, because it's the highest placed Singapore-based team excluded from participation in the AFC competitions are Albirex Niigata as a Japanese sister club here of the J2 team Albirex Niigata in Japan, and the Young Lions are essentially a development side. They're not eligible for AFC competition, so if Albirex Niigata win the league, they don't get that AFC Champions League group spot. It goes to the highest placed Singaporean team. As that comes across for Hafiz Noor, who misses his lines after great work down the left by Adam Swandy. Yeah, so just to clarify, in a strange set of circumstances, they probably would never admit it publicly. And I think Gavin Lee's on the record as saying he disagrees, but it's that problem in the modern era of football that continental competition is arguably, in this day and age, with the commercial aspects, more desirable than winning a league title. So you have this surreal situation where a draw against the Lion City Sailors on Wednesday would be enough, if things stay as they are, for them at Albirex to qualify. As that's deflected to Hafiz Noor for take two, and he's fluffed it again. How many chances does he want? Squares it, 4-0, Gabriel Quack. Well, Hafiz Noor desperate not to score, and Gabriel Quack can't stop scoring and assisting. Gabriel Quack with an assist and a goal. He goes on to 5 for the campaign. And the Young Lions, as they were at Bishan at the start of the month, being run ragged in the second half by the Lion City Sailors. Well, Hafiz Noor had enough opportunities there to get a hat-trick in 15 seconds, missed them all, and then I think he just gave up trying to shoot and ended up passing it sideways to Gabriel Quack, who doesn't miss from there. One swipe from Hafiz, thinks about the dummy, and then Gabriel Quack belts it past Ridwan. 2 for Arshad, 1 for Song, and Gabriel Quack adds a goal to the assist he's already provided. Yes, just going back to explain the situation to our international viewers. So in a strange way, Tampines could actually lose the league leadership on Wednesday if they draw against the Sailors. And Albirex beat Tanjung Pagar, but a draw against the Sailors will guarantee them AFC Champions League football. It's a strange set of circumstances. It's going to give us thrills and spills all the way through to next Saturday, because one thing that does do, that win for Tampines, it means it's highly unlikely, possible but highly unlikely, the title will be decided on Wednesday. And that, of course, is if Tampines don't throw away that 3-1 lead. But Albirex are running out of time. Jacob Marler. Bill. Bill. It's nice control initially from Amaral. As the night well and truly sets in here in the Lion City State. Over the top from Fikri. Fikri unable to battle it back from Isdin. Jacob Marlowe on the drive now. Trying to pick a pass through the middle, but no one on the same page, no runners ahead of him. And with 15 minutes to go, it's just really a question of how many for the Sailors now you fancy. Scored 5 in the second half at Bishan when these two teams last met. They've scored 2 in the second half here. And for all the efforts of Jacob Marler, once again at the very elite level in the AIA Singapore Premier League, the Young Lions not lacking in commitment, heart, desire, and there is some ability there, but it's just, I think, all over the pitch from 1 to 11 where sometimes they're found wanting. And of course, the experienced campaigners in the Lion City Sailor squad know how to make things happen. Well, the last substitution available to the Sailors is on the way. Substitution number 5. Nakudin is going to be replaced by Tajeli. So with that game on Wednesday in mind, Aurelio Vidmar making full use of his allocation of 5 substitutes. That's a ball over the top, but they're going to bring that back for the foul by Hafiz Noor. I thought Isdin, just want to check that Isdin is wearing the captain's armband. I think I saw Hassan Sunny pass it to him. Where's Isdin? Well, that's not Isdin. That's Faisal. And somehow he's not been penalised for that. So Yamazaki can drive it out. Yes, confirmation Isdin is wearing the captain's armband. You can see him there, number 13. Adam Swandy. Boy, has he looked hungry every time he's come off the bench this season. Must be frustrating for him to an extent, but he's put his faith in Aurelio Vidmar. And he certainly made good use of those substitute appearances. 4 goals to Adam Swandy's name this season. Chardin. Isdin. Trying to penetrate the right again, but Amaral is there once more. Hafiz Noor hungry for action. Chardin. I think Hafiz Noor copped a little bit of a nudge there. Bill Mamadou from a mile out. Wide of the mark. So here comes that final sailors change with Tjeli. Going to be replacing Naikudin, I believe. We await confirmation. Referee not happy enough to make the substitution take place just yet. Not sure what that was about. Saifullah. Nice ball over the top. It was looking for Faisal, couldn't quite get there. Now confirmation that Naikudin will be replaced by Tjeli with just under 12 to play. It's just under 12 to play at Geelong East as well. 4 miles away from here. Another pivotal turning point in the title race. Tampines Rovers 12 minutes away from going top of the table for the first time in 3 weeks. With just 2 games to go, they will remain 4 clear of the Lion City Sailors, and they'll go 1 in front of Albirex Nagata, who clearly have the easier run in. There are 2 tough games to finish up for Tampines, with the Sailors and Geylang to come. Here's Hafiz Noor, a lovely touch from Hafiz Noor. He's turned them inside out to the edge of the area. Scuff shot from Saifullah. Isdin. Tjeli. Oh, should have maybe gathered that in. I'm sure he would have done, but it was his first contribution. And yes, please do not adjust your television sets. He is wearing obscene pink boots, Tjeli. Not entirely sure what that's all about. Those pink boots, my oh my. Get another look at them again if we can. Now into the final stages. Isdin, Chardin in space, tries to thread it through. They could still get on the end of this, and from a narrow angle, he's hit the post and the crossbar. I think a combination of the two. Maybe the left-hand post side foot has struck of Ridwan there. It was an intelligent ball through from Chardin. He got the touch on it, and it was the junction of the post and the crossbar that was rattled there, almost 5-0. Bearing in mind, goal difference is still in play in the top 3 battle. As it stands, the goal differences, well, the Sailors will move up to plus 23 if it stays like this. Albirex Nagata will go down to plus 15, which will be the same goal difference as Tampines Rovers. That's some turnaround at Geelong East for Tampines. No turnaround here in the second half. The Sailors have been comfortable from pretty much the moment they went in front through Arshad's first goal of the campaign. Did have a couple of nervy moments early on. Ilhan hit the crossbar and Adam Hakim really should have, Amir Hakim, I should say, really should have made it 1-1. After good work by Jacob Marler. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. And those early fluff lines come back to haunt them. In truth, the Sailors probably could have had a couple more, may well still do so. Harris Stewart to that far side and back to Hassan Sunny. Just delving in to the stats of this game now. And possession-wise, over 60% possession to the Lion City Sailors. They probably could have had more if they wanted. And having been behind on the shot count at half-time, they now lead the shot count 10-9. Just the 2 yellow cards. Both came early on as well to Abdul and Yamazaki. That was when we thought that was the outside chance of an upset in the offing, but it's not proved that way. And for the neutral fan, these are going to be a painful 7 minutes because neither team seems intent on really doing anything here. I suppose it's likely the Sailors could just get the bit between their teeth and go coast to coast as they've done so many times. That's a poor clearance from Hassan Sunny. And it's allowed Ryan Stewart to come in and find a pass as well. Now dancing into the area. And then the pullback penalised. Now the Young Lions turn to throw their last substitution dice. Bill will be replaced by Akmal. All roads now lead to Wednesday, where barring late miracles at Geelong East, Tampines will be the new league leaders when the Lion City Sailors, who now 6 minutes away from a second straight clean sheet for the first time this season, look to win 2 on the bounce. They've won their last 2 matches, subject to this score staying the same by a combined 7-0 against Geylang, and now the Young Lions. Here's Hafiz Noor. Maybe they fancy making it 8-0. Poor pass. Now it's Hafiz Noor to get back and then win the free kick. Saifulla muscled out of it by Jacob Marler. It's well kept in. Initially I thought Mark Ryan Tanner had kept it in, but assistant referee advises the referee it had gone out. Tujeli. I wonder if whether Tujeli or Abdul will get the nod against Tampines on Wednesday. That's going to be interesting to monitor. Team selection for that one will be fascinating because I believe Jordan Webb back for suspension for Tampines as well on Wednesday. That's going to be a blockbuster. Hafiz Noor. Saifulla is Din. Swandy wants it. He's hungry for the ball, Swandy. Always dangerous with ball at feet. No nonsense defending. The first contribution of note from Scott Crichton. Easton again. Swandy might pull the trigger here. Adam Swandy finds Gabriel Quack instead. Gabriel Quack for 5. Doesn't quite connect, and they'll have to make do with the corner. Thought for the world that Gabriel Quack was going to pull the trigger and blast it past Ribwan there. Nice pass from Adam Swandy, laser-like. I think he wanted it back, Swandy. If he'd have got it back, it would have been 5. May still be. Quack. Cross chipped in that was aimed for Faisal. Extraordinary. After 12 games, there's going to be 1 point and 11 on goal difference, subject to these scores staying the same between Albrechts and Tampines, and the Sailors will be hot on their heels. And Tampines, if that score stays the same, will only need a point from their remaining. Well, they need a point on Wednesday, more specifically, because they can't afford to lose against Geylang, having drawn with the Sailors. Of course they can, so a draw is enough for Tampines to get the AFC Champions League spot on Wednesday, but it won't be enough to secure them the title, because 4 points would take them to a potential 31 for the season, and a full allocation of 6 for Albrechts Nagata would take them to 32. So many subplots. And I can tell you, Tampines have scored again. Albrechts Nagata 1, Tampines Rovers 4. It's got to be the second half display of the season, that. And of course, it mirrors the 4 goals they put past the Lion City Sailors in another great second half display back in March. As slight concern for the Sailors is Abdul down on the deck, and he's in some discomfort here. There'll just be 3 minutes of added time, which under the circumstances is a blessing, because this game has been a bit of a damp squib from the moment. Well, from the moment, really, they went 2 up, the Sailors, but especially the 3rd and 4th goals going in. And here is the 4th goal that put the cherry on the top of the cake. 1 swipe from Hafiz Noor, 2 swipes, squares it to Gabriel Quack, who scores his 5th of the season. And really, Vidmar up from his chair to celebrate that. Well, let's give our best wishes to Abdul here. It was only a moment ago I was debating whether Abdul would get the nod on Wednesday, and he does appear to be in a fair amount of discomfort. Well, they're now saying he's okay to carry on, so make their mind up, stretcher out. He hadn't moved for 2 minutes, and now he's okay to continue, seemingly. What a second half display from Tampines Rovers there. 4 second half goals, and the title race is in their hands, of course. No point looking back now, but if they'd only have converted some of those disappointing draws against Tanjung Pagar, Balestier and Galing into victories, they may well have been crowned champions tonight. Well, Abdul's holding his arm there, like that might be a collarbone, and if it is, he can't continue. Yeah, this isn't good. The way he's holding it there and the pain he's obviously in suggests to me some kind of shoulder dislocation or maybe even collarbone. Is it his rib that's causing him problems? They're getting ice on it, but he looks in discomfort. And of course, they've used all their substitutions, the Sailors, so they'll be playing the final throws of this one with 10 men. Can the Young Lions take advantage? Ooh, committed challenges here, and feeling the after effects of that were Amaral. And this 3 minutes worth of injury time is liable to come 4 or 5 if we get another stoppage. Amaral up on his feet. You can see Abdul when they left the screen there. He's still in some discomfort. I do hope I'm wrong, but that looks like a collarbone to me. Playing it back. Akmal Azman to Hassan Sunny. So we're halfway through the 3 minutes of time added on, but if the referee's going to be by the book, we probably should play at least 5 minutes of time added on. Jacob Marler. Typical of the man, he wants to go on with it quickly. He still wants the Young Lions to get a goal out of this. In truth, since that chance missed by AIA Hakeem, they haven't really looked like scoring in the second half in particular. They've been very blunt up top. Hacked away by Tajeli. Still playing with 10. Well, the Sailors. Fikri. Free header, but he couldn't get the elevation he needed. Kyrin Nadim. Turn inside, but there's not many options for him, and Yamazaki will belt this clear. And now it's just a question of how much time the referee will add on to the time added on, and also whether Gabriel Quack can get on the end of this. Gabriel Quack in the area, beats his man. Hafiz Noor and acres of space. He's found Hafiz Noor. Surely this time he's going to finish. He's only gone and fallen over. The danger's still not gone. Saifullah shot is wide and finally bashed away by Scott Crichton. Well, how many invitations does Hafiz Noor want to score tonight? Could easily have had at least 2 in this second half since he came on. Gabriel Quack holding the ball up brilliantly as our referee Lim Liang Yi decides that no more time is necessary, bearing in mind the state of the game, and the Lion City Sailors have guaranteed a top 3 berth this season with a 4-0 win against the Young Lions. Goals in the first half, the first of the season for Arshad. Songul Yong's 7th of the campaign. Arshad 10 minutes into the second half, getting his 2nd of the game and the season. And then Gabriel Quack, who'd already produced an assist during the match, came up with his 5th of the season to make it 4-0. Chances galore after that. Hafiz Noor could easily have had a hat-trick, but seemingly just couldn't make it fly to score. The Lion City Sailors are comfortable winners. They've beaten the Young Lions here by 4 goals to 0. So as the post-match fist bumps are underway, the Young Lions goal difference now drops to an alarming -27, which is fully 15 goals worse than Tanjung Pagar United, but they still stay 7th above Tanjung Pagar United in the league, courtesy of those 2 wins they secured this season against Tanjung Pagar and Balestier. But all the action now and all the talking point, well, you could talk about the whole league from top to bottom, because the reality of the situation is, with 2 games to go, everything, and I mean everything, is still in play. With equations coming out your ears, a chance on Wednesday night for Tampines to secure AFC Champions League football with a draw against the Lion City Sailors, but at the same time, potentially kiss goodbye to the league if Albirex get 2 straight wins. That was an early long-range effort that Hassan Sunny was taking no chances with. That was in the first couple of minutes of the game. That's Ilhan Fandi after good hustle from Harris Stewart, just striking the crossbar. Ilhan with a good bit of vision there that didn't just drop, but this is where it started going wrong. Wonderful pass by Song. And over on that far side, the cross comes in. Sharal Ishak's head first, and then Arshad directing it past Ridwan, who at that point, at that short notice, was helpless really. Difficult to blame the goalkeeper. If anything, Ryan Stewart letting the man get inside. This was when it should have been 1-1 almost immediately afterwards. Jacob Marler leaving Hassan Sunny stranded. Amir Hakeem not able to finish it off, and you can't help but think that might have been better off falling to Ilhan Fandi that chance. And then 5 minutes before half-time, Arshad gets there first. Ridwan bings him down. Referee Lim, no hesitation, and it was the right decision. The penalty would be dispatched by Song for his 7th of the campaign, and that sent the Sailors into the sheds at half-time with a comfortable 2-goal cushion. There was to be no fairy tale comeback here, unlike the match at Geelong East, where Tampines Rovers have pulled it out the fire. Gabriel Quack adding an assist to his resume as he leads the assist charts this season with now 7, laying that on a plate for Arshad. And then Adam Swandi, Hafiz Noor, miskicked after a moment before that when he should have scored as well, but found Gabriel Quack accurately with the pass, and Gabriel Quack's fifth of the campaign wrapped things up. So that's the state of play here. The league table now is absolutely fascinating. The 10 of the tape, 16 shots to Sailors, 10 to the Young Lions. As I say, 4-0 didn't really flatter the Lion City Sailors, but at the same time, it probably doesn't demonstrate the impact the Young Lions had in the game, particularly in the first half. Just the 2 yellow cards, both first half yellows to Kaishu Yamazaki and Abdil. Full time. What a second half stunner. Albirex Nagata led through Tomoyuki Doi's 9th of the season at half time, but the Tampines Rover Stags have blitzed them in the second stanza. Couple for Boris Kapitovic, one for Amaral as well, and we're standing by for confirmation of the 4th and final goal scorer, but they don't care who got them. Gavle's Tampines Rovers are back to the top of the AIA Singapore Premier League tonight. They lead by a point from Albirex Nagata, who dropped down to second. And look how tight it is. The Lion City Sailors can still win the title if other results go their way. And of course, the other question mark is AFC Champions League football, which Tampines can secure for certain if they get at least a point against the Sailors on Wednesday. Elsewhere, Albirex Nagata, of course, can still be champions, because if Tampines settle for a point against the Sailors on Wednesday, they can win both the remaining games, which are looking winnable, against Geylang and Tanjung Bagara, and they'll still be champions, even though Tampines will get the AFC Champions League spot. The AFC Cup race is hotting up as well. The Lion City Sailors guaranteed at least the AFC Cup, but there's one other slot up for grabs, and Balestier Khalsa, after their win yesterday against Geylang, are in a 3-way fight for that with Hougang, and the wooden spoon is up for grabs as well, with Tanjung Bagara United and Young Lions both in play for that undesirable award. Wednesday night, all roads lead to Bishan. The Sailors against Tampines, 7:45. That's not all. There's another big match as well. Plenty of them. Every game now counts for something. The Young Lions battling away to try and not finish bottom, take on AFC Cup chasing Geylang International. And speaking of AFC Cup chasers, Albirex Nagata against Tanjung Bagara United. They're title chasers, Albirex Nagata. They'll be expecting to beat Tanjung Bagara. Remember, they played them at Jurong East in a Tanjung Bagara home game at the start of the season. That one finished 2-2, and Luis Jr. picked up a nasty injury in that one that kept him out till just after the COVID resumption. He'll be out with revenge on his mind against Albirex Nagata. And there are the other AFC Cup chasing sides, Hougang United and Balestier Khalsa. Everyone writing off the chances of Hougang after the departure, with a couple of games to go of Zach Anderson and Charlie Mackle, but they confounded expectations by beating Tanjung Bagara with a last-gasp goal yesterday, and that's put them, with Balestier beating Geylang, back in the AFC Cup mix. There will never have been a more competitive or exciting conclusion to an AIA Singapore Premier League season. 4 games to come on Wednesday, 4 games to come on Saturday, and by this time next week, someone's going to be having a title-winning party. There'll also be an AFC Champions League party going on, and AFC Cup places up for grabs as well. So make sure over the next 7 days you do nothing but keep checking back with the AIA Singapore Premier League social media channels. Check in with One Play Sports as well to keep up to date with all the big news. Duncan Alas will be standing by with bumper episodes of the SPL show this week, with top guests rounding up all the action from the most exciting season in AIA Singapore Premier League history. It's finished here. Young Lions 0, the Lion City Sailors 4. From all the teams, stay safe, stay well, and all roads lead to Wednesday.